tired of doing welcome to the Retro Ranger wrap-up. Today we're going to be talking about episodes we probably should have talked about almost a month ago.
Yeah, well.
But you know what?
We love you guys.
It's worth the wait. I want to love all of you. But
some of you guys.
We are going to be talking about these 3 episodes. Before we get into that, though, I am Joe with that hashtag show.
And he's so fancy.
I know, look at him.
Looks so good.
God, you love it. Look at that smile. It's shining like bright like a diamond.
I know, I feel underdressed. Next time I'm going to wear a gown, a ball gown.
No way.
I'm not going to, it's cold.
Oh, okay.
Style, man. I got to do the... you dress for the job you want.
There you go.
Style.
Ooh, I want to be a hobo.
Well, there you go. I'm Joe. This is Daniel. You can't tell because he doesn't have glasses on. But
Exactly. Hey, you know what? I am who I am no matter what, and I'm Battlestar Galactica, so love it. And to the far right is the one and only.
I have glasses.
You're taller today, I feel like.
I know.
No, but I have a freakishly long torso.
You actually do. I think your torso is just as long as mine, if not longer.
Yeah, I have really short legs. I'm like disproportionately tall.
Well, I still you're cool.
Excellent. That is
Dope,
what
dope.
my dream in life is to be cool. I try really hard.
Well, you can follow Elle on Instagram. You can find out, look at all of her journeys, all the cool places she goes. You go to rocks.
I love rocks. I love painted rocks. It's weird.
I love rocks.
You go to mountain ranges.
And gold. Yep.
That's a lot of fun. We also have cool T-shirts. Where's the picture? There you go.
It's been
the
3
picture. I
weeks
got
since
one
we
on.
Link it below.
Cool T-shirts. Get them at T Public. Right? T Public. Yep.
TeePublic.com/that#show.
I haven't been on this show.
Well, we have a super chat.
What's it say?
Red Blue Blur says, "What did you think of Power Rangers Oscars next Saturday?"
I didn't know Power Rangers had Oscars next
No, he
Saturday.
said, "Hey, ask him, what do you think about it? Maybe he wants to
Like a Power Rangers
hey,
category?
Guys, how about Power Rangers Oscars?"
The presenter is like Alpha 5. He's like,
Just Dresser, just in cosplay. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Are we doing?
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing the Oscars thing.
Yeah. Is it next week?
Oh, well, you're doing that next week?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna be a California one, but
Yeah.
someone is going to do Oscars or something. I've read it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be busy too.
Life is
Well,
hard.
yeah. So it won't be. So unfortunately, we won't have a Power Rangers.
We'll see. It's a possibility.
They will be in a category or two for the hashtag Oscars or whatever we're doing. Whatever it's
cool.
called. So that's good.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
I think you're misinterpreting what the hashtag Oscars thing
Well, I
was.
mean, she's gonna do it, but I'm like, hey, we just offer it and just say, hey, best Power Ranger movie, and it's only gonna be.
What's with the
But
buzzer?
there's only like a handful.
Hey, what's with the buzzer?
Exactly.
They hear a buzz. Everyone's hearing
Is
a
there like
buzzing.
feedback from like the courts or something?
We don't know.
maybe
We're gonna
move
find out.
these?
We're gonna find out what it is for you guys.
Let us know when it stops.
Yeah, good.
But
bad,
Busy buzz
yeah,
buzz.
we also have the super chat. You guys already just experienced what that is. That keeps the comments right
Thanks,
there.
Blue Blur.
Thank you, Blue Blur. Right there at the top, so we can see your comments. And we have the THS hashtag group. You guys can join that. Stay connected with everybody and everything.
That's on Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah, but let's just run through this episode real quick because we already did this once.
We did, but we had Wi-Fi problems, and so we're talking about it again.
Well, maybe we don't want to start yet because it's still buzzing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So that way we get a clean episode.
Okay.
Um,
So what's been new for anybody this week
no comment.
that you want to share?
I don't know. There's new stuff all the time.
Okay, I'm not wearing glasses and shave my head.
I wear
That's
suits
new.
now.
Oh yeah, see,
do.
see,
I think
there are
that
new
looks good.
things happening here,
Oh,
guys.
it is a full-on suit because your pants. I didn't notice that earlier.
I know.
You
Like,
think
it
I
is
wasn't
a-
wearing
yeah.
pants?
No,
Well,
I
no,
didn't
you
know it was
weren't.
matching. I thought you were just wearing a sports jacket, but you're
No,
wearing a
you
full-on
can pull
suit.
the curtain back. He wasn't wearing pants.
He has no
He was wearing-
legs.
Yes, exactly.
That's gonna be the new rumor going around. None of us have legs. You never see them.
Nope,
You never
you don't.
see them
Yeah,
on the
that's
show.
right. You guys don't see our legs.
Nobody uses
We
our
don't have
Discord, I don't think. So I mean, I'm not on the Discord.
it.
You on the Discord?
I'm
You on the
not
Discord?
I thought I only. Letting us know, because maybe it'll stop. If they don't tell us it keeps buzzing, we're gonna assume it's done.
Oh yeah.
Wait, weren't we supposed to have a onesie week?
We were, but we were at Pasadena Comic Con instead doing.
Darn,
a
I guess we
panel.
missed that onesie week.
Why were we gonna have a onesie week? Do you remember?
Because the sports team was gonna win.
Huh?
Sounds good.
But we were gonna have it because the sports team was gonna win, and if the sports team won, we were gonna have a onesie week, just so you could be Baymax.
That's right. That's right.
And
Oh, they don't hear us at all now.
Give us just a sec, guys. We're still working on this. I know you can't hear anything right now, but give us some
We
time.
really did deserve those 2 thumbs downs in the
I want
beginning.
to hear your opinion.
He's figuring it out. Oh my god! Did we get into this episode? Throw some assets. Do we have like a working on the audio asset?
We had the one where the smell. We're like, lost connection.
Oh yeah. Oh, never mind that. Forget about it.
Keep talking.
So we're gonna keep talking. Hang in there, guys. My ears. Oh, I'm crying about it. Shut the fuck up.
These are
Wait,
not
can
gonna
they
be
hear
lovely,
us?
guys.
Can they hear us?
Possibly.
Yo, that onesie week should still happen, so I guess they could.
Yeah.
We have a super chat. Can you hear us, Toku Kid?
Yo, we should have.
Can you hear
I
us?
think it should.
Hey,
I love it.
Remember Jezzer stripper stories?
Yo.
And
we were
those
just
girls
talking
were in
about
love
that.
with a stripper.
No, that's so funny.
What?
Where some people are
Yeah,
like,
because they were like feeling in love, and that's why he's not a stripper anymore.
it's funny how some people
Too much love.
when they say, "Oh my gosh," like they're worried about like stripping while alive, or they have their stripping story.
Yeah.
They usually a stripping story is, "Oh, okay, I need money for college or medical school, whatever."
Just
it
like,
may
I
be."
like to dance.
Jezzer was like,
Jezzer
"No,
needed
I
it for
did it for
PS4.
PlayStation 4."
That's what it was.
What are you
No,
smelling
I
your
did the
hands?
PS3
Because it smells
it
bad, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Somebody help me.
You need to take like one of those tomato baths.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
for skunks,
Well,
though.
why wouldn't it work for
I'll
anything
try
else,
it.
huh?
I will try it. Also,
just dip your fingers in tomato sauce.
I did, and I've done baking soda. I've done like lemons,
you did tomato
limes,
sauce?
not tomato sauce. I will
There
do
you go,
tomato
no
sauce. I've done
problem then.
toothpaste, but I'm gonna go to the steam room tomorrow, and it is gonna stink like shit. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah,
At the YMCA?
Oh.
at 24. We all have 24 gym memberships now, don't
Oh,
we?
yeah.
Only half.
Oh, that's coming from you.
Okay, well, Josh does. You already have one.
And
I
me.
have one.
Oh yeah.
Did you get one?
Well, I'm in the process. I have a lot to do tomorrow, guys.
Life is hard.
It's gonna be a fun day. I'm not looking forward to it.
How was Dragon? I like those little cupcakes. They look like
Oh,
really
the movie
sugary,
was
but they're
the
cute.
movie was good. I just movie was good. The lady next to me was like crying her eyes out.
I don't know. It's like I feel like with all of those movie trailers, they expose the entire fucking movie, and then I don't really need to
Well,
watch
if you
it.
actually watch the first movie, in the first line of the first movie, it tells you what the third one's about.
That they're gonna find the land of dragons and
No.
oh.
The first line in the first movie is, when I was a boy, there used to be dragons.
Oh, I haven't
Really?
seen
Is
them.
that not the first one?
It's,
Dang.
it's not a spoiler if it's literally in the first movie from 12 years ago.
It was in the first. I didn't.
That's
Well,
the
some
very
people-
first line in the first
But some
movie.
people don't know, like spoilers. I feel like you can't ever talk about them.
sound is good now.
Oh, is it? Can you hear us?
Well, that's because I like disconnected a few.
That's because Nagami is making sure stuff works.
It might be because I plugged in the mics this week and I probably
you?
done
Working?
messed it up. Yeah,
Did you really?
yeah.
Hardest working
I
man
might have
in
messed it
entertainment,
up.
guys.
Maybe that's why there was busy buzz going around.
But yeah,
I'm sorry.
the movie's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alita's really good.
That movie trailer looks like trash.
It's really good though.
And that's what everyone's saying. That's what Shay was telling me. And I was like, that movie looks like trash.
She was on.
Okay, back.
Are we back? Can you hear us?
Let's talk about this fucking episode. It's called Brother, Can You Spare an Arrowhead? Daniel, what's it about?
But we also
Well-
had a super chat by Toku Kid that we kind of missed.
Cares about him.
I do.
What is it?
We will figure that out about the onesies. I don't know if we're still gonna do it, but we're not going
Yes.
to know because we didn't. The team didn't win, so we're not gonna do the onesies.
Team did win actually.
It did. Okay, so the team did win, so we are going to do the onesies. I've got to go out and shop for some onesies. So the episode was about Tommy and the conclusion of his spoiled brother's life story, and it was not too revealing. We got most of the information concerning everything about those two in the first part of this three-parter. So
Well, the big thing about this episode was Tommy reveals himself to his brother that he's known for a couple hours that, hey, I'm actually a Power Ranger. And Tommy, there are only 3 rules, and we discussed it previously. None of the Power Rangers know how to obey the 3 rules set up by Zordon, and he was like, my little brother that's kind of being a poor sport and losing, I'm going to reveal my secret identity to.
He was having an anxiety attack where he was just, oh, my brother, everything, oh my God. And he was like, oh, shit. Look, he's fine. Oh, okay.
I feel like Tommy would be like, hey, I know your brother. It's cool. You can chill. Get out of harm's way. Because obviously you don't know how to defend yourself even against your twin brother? Older brother? Older brother? Younger brother?
Still, nonetheless, he was the cause of his problems. Honestly, when you think about it, if he
because he
wasn't
beat him
so-
up. If he didn't win, he was like, "Oh, I should just lose to my brother so he can build his self confidence." No, I don't agree with that.
No. I'm saying not Tommy. Tommy's brother is the reason all of this happened. If he didn't start acting like a brat at the very beginning, all of that wouldn't have happened. Where he wouldn't have got kidnapped and taken to the cave, and then after that, the cave drawing was like, "Oh, I hate this guy so much, I had to come to life and kill him." You know, all those things wouldn't have happened.
No.
I blame his brother.
This is also setting up future storytelling with the Gold Ranger that's going to be happening pretty soon.
I love gold.
Oh,
So-
really? Like what? I'm sorry, not joking, but like what points to it?
It's because there's going to be a point where we're all going to be guessing who the Gold Ranger is, and they heavily allude that this is
Oh,
possible.
that it could be the brother too. Dang, I did not even think about that.
So that is a plot point of setting that up. We also have the Arrowhead from Power Rangers, the Alien Rangers
Way back.
thing when
Yep.
Tommy got his little Zeo crystal. He got also half an Arrowhead. So this pays off a little bit some odd episodes later. This episode's directed by Terrence H. Winkless, and it's written by Mark Linton. I don't know. Overall, I like the episode, but I don't feel like they do. There's not really a huge purpose for Tommy to have a brother, but it's kind of cool that you know that he's adopted and he gets his long lost brother, I guess.
Now, question: when you say that you like it, and once again, not a joke, is it more nostalgia or is it just the episode itself? The why you like?
I think I like the payoff to the Arrowhead more than anything.
But they didn't
So
need to
it's
stretch it out for like the 4 episodes.
Yeah.
That this whole
Yeah,
story
that
arc.
the whole
They
story
could have
arc comes
condensed
from?
it down. I
Was
feel like
this-
till 2
Is
maximum.
this our first Tommy-centric episode, though? Our first Tommy-centric storyline in this since Zeo started?
Maybe.
Because we've had
yes.
Adam, we've had Rocky.
We've
Well, I
had
guess not,
Aisha,
because I
yeah.
guess no business like snow business is kind
Yeah.
of Tommy's.
Oh,
I mean, Tommy's
dang,
the leader, so he
right.
kind of like.
Doesn't need that.
Yeah.
And he's probably the longest tenured ranger, so
Yeah.
you already know who the guy is.
Yeah, kind of. You could
Just
develop
so-
some other people.
Just was so happy you said that. I love gold. I'm
love
so happy about it.
I do.
Yes, that's correct. R.I.P. Eric Frank.
What do you guys give this episode in the chat, and what do you guys give this episode in real life?
I don't know. It dragged on a little too long for me. The monster didn't really make sense. I wish it had Native American ties to like kind of.
You're not a fan
with the
of,
story.
not a big fan of Mace Face?
That's not what he was called. Wasn't it like
think it's Mace
Atok
Face.
or something?
What-
Okay,
no,
maybe it
my-
was, I guess
my
it was
thing
Mace
was-
Face.
The Mace Face one.
Wasn't
Alright.
he supposed to be a cave drawing?
Yeah, and I thought it was gonna have some kind of like pictograph meaning or like some kind of heritage to bring like the arrowhead and like
Yeah, right.
activate by rocks and stuff.
Right, no,
and it
it's-
just felt a little flat, so I'm gonna give it a 2. It was a little lackluster
Daniel?
for me.
I agree with you actually. I wasn't too happy about those portions, but what I was happy with was once again the references and callbacks.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that. I enjoy that they're building up on storytelling and things of that nature. So though I didn't and I did, I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
2.5 also. Red Blue Blur also gives it a 2.5. Ratwing gives it a 3.5. John Boy 4.
He's
Layla
back.
2.5. Funny K Comics 4. Larry gives it a 3. Thomas Franco 4.5. Sanchez Productions of the Edward kind is giving it a 4. So it seems like it ranked decent.
Yeah.
It's moderate. I don't know. I feel like overall the arc was memorable, but this particular episode, it's not going to stick with me.
Yeah, it
I'll
was-
remember like Tommy's brother and how he came back and the arrowhead, but as far as
The way to
Development?
end, the way to
Nah.
end all of this, like building up and having 4 episodes, you think finally, well, if you're going to get to this 4th one, it should be good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was really lackluster, and it was something that when you do talk about the episodes, like you said, it will be one episode that you'll probably even forget to bring anything up about.
Notes about this episode is the first appearance of the Zeo Mega Battlezord. It's also the first time non-Ranger character David, who has never become a Ranger, is to discover the Rangers' identities.
also he's not the Gold Ranger.
Maybe.
The notes just told me she wasn't.
Maybe. He says
All right.
maybe.
Then suspense.
First use of the shortened title sequence would be used frequently for the rest of the season. David appears next in Oily to Bed and Oily to Rise.
Oh, that sounds
Bulk and
gross.
Skull recall
Yeah, it
the
is.
putties while thinking about monsters.
And we find out that Bulk and Skull are qualified to be officers because they see monsters everywhere.
Yes,
Which is
and-
beneficial for Angel Grove and having their
Exactly.
police officers or junior police officers being
Yeah,
scared of
yeah.
monsters.
Thank God, though. I mean, they have those junior police officers. 'Cause
But
they
it's
really
just so
are
cute. Like, that
making
one
it-
just looks like a person with, like, I don't know, some snowflakes or something. And they're like, monster!
They're like, parties! You know what they are? No more.
Next up, we have a new
Trust in Me?
episode called Trust in Me. This one's written by Al Winchell and directed by Terrence H. Winkless. This is Rocky takes interest in a blind karate student, but she distrusts him and the others. Meanwhile, King Mondo summons the Defector to gain the Rangers and even Alpha 5's trust.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that was, like, super standout about this is, like,
Cat's
Cat's
a
comment.
monster racist.
Yeah, she's monster racist. And, like
Machinist.
a
or
good
something.
robot? How can that be? And I'm like, Alpha's standing right,
Right there.
And I like how everyone else is like, dude, Cat.
Well, everyone else is like, whoa.
Yeah.
She was just like, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Hitler didn't have too many bad ideas. Whoa. Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't think
what she
that's a
did.
big jump. That's a big jump, man.
That's exactly what she
That's
did.
a big
right
jump.
there.
I don't think Cat is that bad.
I think Cat went right on it.
She
I think
went
she
like
was right
she
on
was a
it.
side comment about robots, considering Alpha's right there. But I think that's a pretty big jump.
You know what I
but
think
you're
about
entitled
it?
to your
I mean,
opinion.
well, then, okay. Then it's even worse to say the Cat was like, you know what I think about blacks? And you're like, no. It's close enough. It's just that bad.
I mean,
Catherine Sutherland, we completely apologize for Daniel Jerome's comments. They do not reflect.
Yeah, because comments concerning your character and not you. So
But
everyone
I
knows
don't even
before
think
she
that's
separates
Cat's
the two.
character.
Hey,
She didn't say that. She
it's
was
not
just
my
talking
fault
about
that
like.
she's so anti-machinist. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
She is anti-machinist,
You know?
though.
Yeah,
Think
she,
about
yeah,
that.
she
I'm
is
just-
anti-machine,
I'm trying to
but I don't know if that applies
in real
to.
world. I'm just trying to equate it to real world things here, guys. We're
All
growing
right,
up with the
all
show.
right.
Let's talk about the blind karate student,
Yeah.
Penny?
Penny.
Yeah.
She has a chip on her shoulder, but
She's kind of a bitch.
Whoa,
I mean-
my God! And I said something wrong. This is horrible.
I mean, it's a fact. She's not cool.
She
she
was
just
just
she,
sassy
she
and
does have a chip.
opinionated.
Like, she doesn't want to be like coddled. She feels like she's independent and people never treat her like that or
Yeah,
treat
but
her
she
as
doesn't have to
less
be
of a
so
You don't have to
mean
be
about it.
Yeah, like you don't have to be mean to me.
I mean, it's
This is my
true.
first time meeting you and doing this. It's unfortunate that everyone does the same thing. I'm sorry, but yeah.
But we
you're gonna have
align
to
with
deal
Rocky
that.
because we know he's a good-hearted guy. He's super
Definitely.
funny and super genuine. But I can see how maybe over time of people trying to, either because she's a girl and because she's blind or whatever, that she kind of does feel like, oh, you don't have to talk to me like that.
Yeah, it just.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
she's even mean to Billy. Billy doesn't even. He's like, what the
Billy just kind of walked in like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
and she
I
was
mean-
like, I hate all of you. He's like, what the heck?
She does come around though. She comes around at the end, like Rocky is persistent, and is like, "Hey, Petty," blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they are able to become friends. So brought out the best in her and made her realize that not everyone's trying to like be condescending or be mean to her. And
My
I feel
favorite
like,
moment with her when she told Bulk and Skull, "Yeah, I knew you guys were there. I could smell you."
yeah,
And I was like, weird flex, but okay.
But you
Yeah.
know what was cool?
Yeah.
What was cool about this episode though is when the Rangers morph, she could still hear their voices.
yeah.
And they like.
And she's supposed to have like that super acute hearing.
Oh my God, yeah, they made her like Daredevil pretty much.
yeah. So like even when Rocky was morphed, he had to still pretend like he wasn't like a ranger.
But I wanted him to use like a crazy like accent or something, especially since he was trying to play up like the comedy aspect of it, and maybe he should have just been like, I don't know, something like really bizarre and
Can I
weird.
hear you do one?
I don't know.
Australian, go for it.
Oh, I'm Rocky. Please don't recognize my voice, Penny.
Why do you do this like a robot?
That sounds-
I don't
that's
know.
exactly right.
Are you racist against robots too?
Are you racist against her impressions? Is that what's going on, Joe? Wow. We're just trying to make sure.
But yeah, I
everything's
feel
wrong.
like, and like this episode too, like we get the Defender wheel that it could be driven by anyone, not just
Oh,
Tommy,
yeah.
which is crazy. And I like that part.
Does Rocky do his morph like really quiet so she doesn't hear it? By the way, this episode,
Probably.
it's like he's like it's
I
morphing
think
time.
he
I
did.
think he did,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Went around the corner.
He
and
was
did it.
around the corner of the planter,
Yeah.
and he was like, but I'm like,
Yeah, but then he came right back.
I mean,
He
wouldn't
used
it?
his regular voice, and she was like,
Yeah, it's
huh?
well,
She's like,
maybe
Rocky?
the helmet's like muffle their voices, so they're more like talking to themselves
Oh,
than
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
projecting
No, but
towards
she was
an
like,
audience.
who else is there? The Power Rangers showed up, and they're gonna help. Blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, we'll go with that.
Power
We'll go
Ranger
with that.
logic, it's fine. But yeah, like, and he gets to ride the Defender wheel. I feel like this was a good Rocky
He's
episode.
also the last person to ride the Defender wheel.
Oh yeah,
Oh man,
that's very true.
well, I'm glad that Rocky got to have like a good episode and show that he's caring, and that even if people are mean, that you should kind of, you know, always treat them with kindness, always try to like
Oh,
get to
definitely.
know them. I feel like I had a good lesson, and
Rocky was the leader of this episode.
it was, and it was
I
a
dug
really
it.
good lesson. Unlike Lieutenant Stone, who hits on high school chicks, and it's really awkward. And
Because they were really men, and I just,
yeah, but
you
he
know
was
what?
really
Look, he
into
likes what he
it,
likes,
and
you know.
and he
I'm
like
just gonna-
so he likes cross-dressing high school dudes and poop
Not poop, manure.
fertilizer.
Okay, there you go.
Lieutenant Stone was one of those people that I was really excited for him as a character, and as we've gone on,
It's getting worse.
He is one of my like when I see him, I was like, no, please don't feature him anymore. I don't want to learn anything else about Lieutenant
Honestly,
Stone.
Just wait till
I-
he adopts the monkeys.
Wait, what?
It gets
We'll
there.
get there.
It gets there.
Oh, does this get weird?
Oh boy,
It gets weird.
There's a reason his character was gone later in the show.
It gets weird.
Oh.
Lieutenant, well, how come he's never done a Morphin?
If he did, if I ever take like a photo op with him, I'm gonna bring a bag of fertilizer.
Oh God!
Bring a bag of fertilizer, and that's gonna be the picture that I
Oh.
take with him or have him sign. It's gonna be great.
Lieutenant Stone.
You
All
have to take
right,
a picture where he's like,
let's talk about some errors in this episode. Penny claims that you shouldn't treat blind people any different. However, this point seems a little mute as Rocky and the others do just that, as they were impressed with her fighting skills before she was revealed to be blind. Mm-hmm. And they also try to help her pick up her things when they fell over, despite that they would probably do that with a person regardless.
Yeah,
Rocky ends
anybody.
up apologizing to Penny for having treated her differently, despite him not doing this at all. When it was rather Penny assumed it was because she was blind.
Yeah.
Penny, you're not cool. Here's some notes for this episode. First appearance of the Defender Wheel, as well as the only time that it destroys a monster, and the only time that Tommy doesn't use it. Sorry, final appearance.
And the only time it destroys monsters, so it's completely pointless. Like, that is, like, probably the least impressive toy that they've got. I like the shark bikes better, and I absolutely hate those shark bikes.
The original title for this episode was Robot Recycling. In the
makes
scrapyard
sense.
where the Defector is created, Change Robo's chest, a hump from the Mastodon Dinosaur, and a broken exoskeleton of Drill Master can be seen. Ed Neal and Danny Wayne Stalkup both made out-of-suit cameo as Penny's opponents.
Oh.
Rocky demorphing in front of Penny. Rocky demorphed in front of Penny, despite his secret identity to justify Penny being blind. Those were the only notes. What do you guys give this in the chat? And what do you guys give this in real life?
ladies
I
first.
give it a 3. Solid episode. It's fun. I don't think it was memorable. And Penny doesn't garner a lot of sympathies, to be honest. But, you know, Defender anyway.
It was basic. It was a basic episode, so I give it a 3 as well. Wasn't anything too special. Nothing that would really be memorable. So
And don't forget to put your votes in the chat.
Solid 2.
solid
Okay.
2. Dang,
Solid 2.
That's a low.
Jared Hodges gives it a 4. Deckelmeier fan, you got a long name there, buddy. You give it a 5. John Boy gives it a 3. Mikey Perez 3.5. Red Blue Blur also gives it a 2. Layla 2.5. Ratwing 4 out of 5.
Oh, yeah. Deckelmeier.
Larry
also has
gives it a
one.
3. Great. So it's about a middle of the road episode. Now here is a good episode coming
This
up.
is like one of my favorite episodes so far.
Of all time.
Seems to be almost everyone's favorite episode.
Because it's just the theming wise, they picked a theme and they stuck with it, and
did.
it was super fun. And like the black and white and everything else, like
it was.
this. Because sometimes they'll start with something like, "Oh, we're gonna do a game show for Halloween," and then it leaves and it never comes back around. But this is something that was solid writing in my opinion.
This is written by Joseph Kaur. It's directed by Robert Radler. Now, this is Adam finds himself in a twisted tale of horror when he is chosen to save the world from the Machine Empire alone. This is the perfect Halloween episode.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Power Rangers now should look at this episode as a blueprint to how to do good Halloween episodes.
Yes.
No flashback.
There's not there's not really
It's not
any
a flashback.
flashbacks.
It's a dream sequence.
Dream
Yeah.
sequence, all in black and white. This is like classic Universal monster movie episode, and
And
I thought
it
it
was
works
funny.
brilliantly.
It was genuinely funny with the names that they came up with, and like Temecula, like,
Yeah,
for Tommy
right?
or whatever. Temecula. And I was like, oh my god, this is super fun. And it's like, I love Adam. Like, he's so cute, and this is the perfect episode. And I don't know. Not enough good stuff to say about this.
Yeah, this is a great episode. Adam eventually he's in school studying late. A horror movie marathon comes on. He watches it, falls asleep at school. He ends up waking up. We're in this alternate reality or more dream sequence.
But we didn't really know.
We don't know that.
When
Yeah.
Rita and Zed came originally, I was like, wait, what? Where have they been? Are they looking for Goldar and Rito? Because they've been gone for like months at this point.
They're like, oh, we left something back home.
Yeah, and it wasn't until it actually went into like the old school stories like Frankenstein, Dracula, and like
That's when you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, before then you were just like, oh, it's gonna be like a really weird Home Alone.
Yeah, so then we get a lot of that, and then we end up in black and white. We get to see Tommy as a vampire. We get to see Rocky as the werewolf. We also get to see Billy kind of like Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes.
And Tanya was the bride of Frankenstein.
Favorite monster one
Yes.
right there.
And then,
Tanya's
like-
was the best.
But Igor as
Alpha was...
Alpha
Oh, no,
was-
we had Ernie.
But I love how it's just like, oh, who could be Ernie? Ernie,
yeah.
you're gonna be Igor.
Who else did we have? We had
Yes, who else?
we had Kat as a witch.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I forgot about that.
This
Also,
was...
because it was weird, because the whole thing I was anticipating for it to get to Kat, because Adam has to collect these items from each of these characters. A
cat's
and when
eye.
they're like,
A
the
cat's
eye,
eye.
yeah, and I was just like, he's gonna spoon out Cat's eye. Oh my
became a
god!
completely different show
Yeah,
at that
I was
moment.
thinking of like Kill Bill, and he's just like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh god! Like I was actually like, this was like the most suspenseful Power Rangers episode too, because I was like, how are they gonna get Cat's eye?
Well, they also must have had so much fun doing this episode.
Yeah, because like
Because
their
they get
voices
to, they get to play something almost completely different,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like kooky, and like you're supposed to be kind of more theatrical
Yeah,
and fun.
and
So I feel like they get to break out and
It was cool because, like you said, more theatrical and everything.
Yeah.
Everything was bigger, and you could see that, and that's why I said I love Tanya's part where it was just she was all like, and all that
Yeah.
weird like kookiness, and it was just like this is fun.
What's his name?
This is good.
Zordonicus?
Oh yeah,
Was it Zordonicus?
that does sound actually really familiar. I don't.
Zordonicus, and then there's like you said, Temecula, and
Yeah.
all that. Oh man, I loved every bit of this episode.
I also like that Adam is put in a position where he has to choose another ranger to fight.
Yeah.
The monster, and he's like, "What would Tommy do?" He's like, "Tommy, that's an excellent choice." And Tommy's like, "What is going on?"
How did I get here? What's going on?
I know.
And the monster's coming out of his
He's like,
body, he's
okay.
freaking out, like, oh, what's going on?
I just wish that part was in black and white too, instead of color.
Oh, see, and the thing is, it wasn't color. I was like, wait, is this actually happening?
Yeah, and I was
Or
like,
was
is
it-
this like a weird ploy or like some kind of thing by the machine empire to like?
Yeah, to really do. I was like, dude, I
If
don't
that
know
really
what's real
was
anymore.
Tommy, he must have been like, "God damn it, Adam!
Right.
Why did you pick
Why
me
you
for this?"
picked me?
But I like how like Zordonicus or whatever. It's just like I heard a name.
He's like, I got a clock out soon. Yeah. Big kid.
He was like, "Oh, he's taking too long."
And the cool thing too, another cool thing too that I really like in this is that the Machine Empire converges on Adam, and that's just the culmination of his nightmare.
man.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, no," and then he wakes up, and then you realize that he's in a dream. I thought this episode was brilliant from top to
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah.
So good. And also, I think it's a really well done episode to adapt it. This isn't like a Japanese version or translation. They straight up were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this American thing completely almost, and do it in our own way." And I think this is what sets Zeo away from O-Ranger, pretty much.
Well, because it becomes later a trend in Zeo. They tried to actually not depend on too much of the original Toei footage and go with what they were trying to do. So they were like, here's a little bit of stock footage, but let's shoot a lot of everything here. And it was like, that was dope.
Yeah, and it's super fun where we get to learn kind of more like you kind of forget that they're high school students and that they have to study and they have a life outside of like fighting monsters. And like seeing Adam try to study and like it's nice. It's kind of like a cool break where you don't need a lot of like monsters or fighting or any of that stuff, and it's like, oh, it makes you really care about them.
Pretty much they took later the comic book pretty much focuses and does the same thing where it's like, don't forget, besides being heroes, they are also teenagers and they're going to school, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's like a slice of life within all of this action, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh man, Bulk as a mummy though, because like even in the beginning we're like, oh, can you walk us home? And they're like supposed to be the officers. I just think they're so cute.
I
their
also
appearances.
think it's so fun that they use like even like Lieutenant Stone is in this episode in
Yeah.
a different role. Like And Rocky's usually playing like a goof, and this like he's like trying to be the one that like guides these like dogs, right? And or he's like a was he like a detective or something? And then he's like trying to think, and then the moon comes out and he transforms into a werewolf. So fun, just a fun episode. So what are some highlights? You thought that Tanya was the best monster.
I loved it. I thought she was the best monster for me. It was just you could see her really break out of the role that we're so accustomed to her being. Because every once in a while, when you do see Tanya, you kind of equate her to like if you had to X-Men animated Storm in a way, where she sometimes seems so
like very stoic and very like I have to be the responsible adult and I can't have fun. So yeah, you're right. Seeing her in this role is very good.
Just a complete 180. So she gets to really just spread her wings as far as doing it, and which lends itself back to what you said, which is far more theatrical, bigger as far as all of her movements and everything. It just looked fun, and it was great, and it was different from what she's accustomed to, so I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was super good. I feel like the weakest out of all of them was probably Kat, who's just like a witch and has like a little amulet on. I feel like they kind of ran out of steam. That was the only thing. That was like the weakest part of the entire episode, which I absolutely love. But I was like, you couldn't do something else, or maybe not make it a cat's eye, or maybe actually have like Adam at the end being like, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know how to do this, I can't hurt my friends. It's like, I don't know you, or like have something.
She was gonna give her like a cat's eye marble, like one of those. Oh, here it is. And oh god, I thought I was gonna have to, And
also, brilliant choice by having Adam be the one that this episode kind of revolves around, because it could have been a completely different episode had that been Kat or Tanya or Rocky or even Tommy. So I think Adam was the perfect choice for
Tommy has way too many dream sequence fighting things. Like, that would have been super boring. I feel like Kat, too, doesn't have... Her personality in the show doesn't have enough to, like, do this. I feel like it would have been Rocky or Adam.
I think one thing we're also overlooking is what high school lets you spend the night, like, without getting, like, kicked out.
Well, I don't know what high school also allows you to hire junior policemen to take you out of school, like, every day.
Oh, that's right.
City even allows that to happen.
I know.
Sure, they can protect us. What?
I mean, they have other stuff. They're like, dude, there's monsters destroying everything, whatever. There are no rules in the city. It's a free-for-all. He wants to study. Hopefully, he'll study the monsters and one day learn how to destroy them permanently.
It's quite bizarre. But we do have a few notes. You called this the perfect episode, and it just might be because there are no errors.
Oh, wow.
Oh, bravo.
Because it's mostly American footage, too, so the continuity actually does match up.
Tommy is the only ranger to appear morphed in this episode, and even then, this only happens as a part of Adam's dream, as due to the fact the O-Ranger episode was based off of the, which introduced only one ranger of the 5-man squad instead of one large one. That was a leader, O-Red. So this was actually an O-Red episode that they took from O-Ranger, and it was Tommy's, or the Red Ranger's episode. This episode saw a VHS release on August 20th, 1996, prior to the first airing September 11th, 1996. In doing so, it used the original opening of the tape and reruns on ABC Family and Toon Disney, as well as Netflix and iTunes. The Bride of Hackensack is obviously a parody of The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
The episode makes reference to many classic horror and fantasy movies, including The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. This episode was dedicated to the memory of Carol Michelle Mickelson, a young fan with terminal illness who visited the set from the show when the episode was being filmed and sadly passed away just before it aired.
Oh.
Though he's only a dream monster, Drill Master will appear in reality as a previously destroyed monster rebuilt in Golden Homecoming, meaning that the Power Rangers destroyed Drill Master previously in an unseen battle. The original draft for the title episode was The Nightmare in Angel Grove. This episode is one of the rare times where the extended theme reappears after being shortened in Brother, Can You Spare an Arrowhead? Those are the notes for this episode. Chat, what do you guys give this? And guys, what do you guys give this?
This one gets 5.
I agree. This actually is a really good episode. Now, we already saw that it was a perfect one, so why not make it and give it a 5?
I agree. I'm also going to give it a 5. This is probably one of my favorite episodes of all time.
It's been the
all time!
It really is, though, because after, like, we kind of talked about it before of how we kind of skip certain fight scenes because they do get a little repetitive. This is one of, like, the few episodes so far where it's, like, I'm enthralled. Where, like, I don't need to skip. I don't feel, like, the desire. Like, just sit down for a solid 22 minutes of, like, old school Power Rangers.
Definitely.
True story. John Boy gives it a 4. Larry gives it a 5. Mikey gives it a 5. Layla gives it a 3.5. U.S. Dutch Kitty, 4. Blackwing, 5. Red Blue Blur, 4. Funny K Comics, 5. This is a best episode across the board for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with Power Rangers, which is like crazy. Like, I mean, it kind of does, like a little bit, but I mean, it's just kind of like a.
Yeah, and then after that, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it's not really like a monster fighting kind of episode.
Yeah.
The monsters are his friends.
This is one of the episodes where I was excited to talk about because as a kid I loved it. So I wanted to see if it still like held up as being as good as it did, and it does.
Wow.
I think that's that exactly.
Yeah, same phrase, same thing. I'm thinking as a kid, 4. As an adult, 5.
Oh.
Like that's exactly what you're saying. It is true.
Because you have more references as you grow up, too. Like, you think it's fun, but as an adult, you're like, oh, man, they put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into this episode. And it's like, yes, if given the opportunity and the freedom to not have to work around Sentai footage, like, these writers can do amazing things.
Yeah, see?
So,
the whole time, it's just like...
Yeah, I really also like that they're experiencing, or not, maybe not experiencing, but they're writing the Rangers based on the people, and the characters have a lot of depth. Like I said before, Tanya has more depth in the small time she's been around than Aisha had, doing really anything. And I also think that they're writing two characters and not just to match up footage for something. So I think that's kind of cool.
yeah.
It's that freedom.
Guys, next week we have 3 more episodes. Bulk Fiction,
Oh, no, it's not gonna happen.
Song Sung Yellow, and Game of Honor.
Interesting. I don't know what to expect. I don't think it'll be as good as this one particular episode, but
I don't know. I'm expecting probably some weird dance in a restaurant.
I don't know. I'm excited for the Bulk one, though, because,
Yeah.
like, Bulk and Skull
Bulk
are, like,
Fiction.
my favorite characters. So that would be good if they were,
You
like...
like Bulk or Skull better?
I think I like Skull
I knew you were
better.
going to say Skull.
Yeah.
Because he can play piano?
Yeah, and he's just way more sensitive, and I don't know, like...
And Kimberly likes
Do you think he would like the smell of your hands?
Nobody does. My hands
What?
smell so
You mean
bad.
yes. Skull, you see how much he was head over heels over Kim? He'd go crazy for you.
But, like, he said the smell of my hands.
Yeah,
I
I'm saying, he'd
had
go
crab
crazy over
boil,
you.
and now my
Yeah.
hands smell like crab and all of that sauce and garlic. If you're wondering why I keep doing this, it's because it's disgusting.
And so that's why you keep.
How long do you
forcing
think
that.
it'll be?
Hopefully, once I go to steam room tomorrow, it'll just be gone.
You put your hands. You put them like underneath your. And then,
No,
and
I'm
then
gonna let
when
them
you get
drip
nervous-
out all of that
when you get
garlic
nervous, you-
stench.
Like
No,
that, you just-
I'm not married. What's her name? Superstar? Superstar.
Catherine Gallagher, stop it! Or
Yes.
whatever, yeah. Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Next week we'll have a good time talking about that. Maybe we will do Power Ranger Oscars when Oscar episode.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I
That'd be
thought we
great.
were gonna do
Onesie?
onesie day. I got really excited at the beginning of that sentence.
We can try Onesie Day, but I mean, I feel like maybe we should do Onesie Day.
We should. You guys should do it too, and then submit your pictures to us on THS Hashtaggers on Facebook. What are you saying over there on the other side?
Onesies all the way!
I can't, there's a camera right here. I can see what you're doing.
You weren't even looking. You know, what are you?
I obviously was.
Oh God! Why is it happening?
But Daniel's gonna be Baymax, and I'm super excited.
It's gonna be amazing, guys.
Hey, you guys
Trust
have
me,
Doctor
it's
Who
gonna be
tonight?
fun. Yeah.
We do.
What episode
That's
you guys talking
right.
about?
Aliens in London. Or four
That's right.
four aliens in London.
4 aliens are in London. Just 4 of them.
I think aliens in London.
That's weird.
Aliens of London.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Aliens and London.
Of
London.
London.
In London?
Of.
Yes, all of those. There are aliens, and there's London, and it's Doctor Who, and we'll be talking about it at 7 o'clock.
So you're going to talk about it in about 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then?
So,
And then we have Gallifrey 1 next week. I don't know if y'all are going, but I will be there at least for a little bit.
yeah.
Maybe.
And Dan.
No,
Maybe.
and then
Okay.
we're
And
done.
Then after that, we have Star Wars later on tonight. That's at Star Wars Fanatics. It's going to be on Facebook. And then join us for THS Wrestling. That's also on Facebook.
Woo!
So there's a lot to talk about in all these fandoms. We have you covered for Sunday, technically where you are going into Monday.
Yeah.
So have fun with us all throughout the night. That's going to do it for us right here at the Retro Ranger Wrap-Up. But you be sure to catch us next week as we'll be talking about more Power Ranger episodes, more Power Rangers Zeo episodes. Why? What's next week? Oh, yeah. Some of us will be.
Well, but anyway, thanks to Blue Blur and Toku Kid for
Yeah,
our super chats.
Definitely appreciate it.
That's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending.
Geek
Geek
Pop
Pop
Culture.
Culture.